last stop flies by.
It is time for a swatch and sip. My favorite swatch and sips are with indie brands because nobody does shimmers and glimmers like indie brands. So today I'm going to be swatching and sipping with the new Odens Helaween collection in collaboration with Angelica Nyqvist, and these are going to be really fun to swatch. Now if you're new to my swatch and sip series, the inspiration behind it, I love to sit in my room in the middle of the night and just swatch my whole body in eyeshadow swatches. I think they're the most beautiful things to exist. So we are going to take a moment to appreciate the beauty of these eyeshadows today. I will have also towards the end a tutorial of how I got today's look because I did use the little ghost palette in the collection, but let's get over the details here. So this palette actually just launched a few hours ago, so if you are interested, I'll have the link down below. They are in collaboration with Angelica Nyqvist, who, in my opinion, just has that eye to create a well-rounded, good color story, especially if you're a fan of more bright colors. She hits it out of the ballpark with those. I could never. I feel like I would not be good at curating a color story and putting things together, but definitely Angelica has the eye for that. Now, I do have a code if you do purchase morganturner at checkout. It will save you 10% off all non-collab items. So this will not get you a discount, but that's okay because you're definitely supporting Angelica that way. And let's just go over the collection. So there is a 5-piece lip collection that you can buy for $69.50, or you can pick each product up for $13.90. I have on one of the lip products right now and it's so gorgeous and hydrating, so we'll go over that too. You can buy the whole Halloween bundle for $133, which will save you about $24. Or you can buy each individual palette for $43.90. And honestly, when it comes to Odens at this point, I'm very familiar with their formula. I definitely think that their formula is more than worth the price point. I think they're a great value just with the colors and the shimmers and the dimensions that you get. But let's take another sip and get to swatching. By the way, if you haven't caught the memo, make sure you guys make a drink while we look at these eyeshadows. Okay, so the first palette that we are going to look at is the Little Ghost palette. Now this one's the one I was more attracted to because it has purple tones in this. Look at this artwork. I mean, who is doing their artwork? They are so talented. And it's like subtle rainbows. Okay, let's get into the actual magic of the palette itself. It does have a mirror, and then here are the color stories. So it's like a purple blue, but there also is some warm pops as well. I really love this color story. Definitely not for a neutral person. Very vibrant, but let's go ahead and get into swatching these. You know, the whole reason that we are here. So here's a closer look with the lights down. So I'm going to start off by swatching the top row here. So we have Banana Taffy, Little Ghost, Ominous, and Licorice. And I love doing swatch and sips with Odens because they do not disappoint in the swatch department. So here is that matte bright yellow. Then we have a rich matte retro purple. Look at these swatches. It's very rare that you'll find even matte shadows that swatch like this. And then we have a purple with blue shimmers, and I have it on my eye today, so you'll see this in action. And then we have a matte licorice, which looked more brown in pan, but it's kind of like a purpley color. Anyways, really gorgeous for this look. Then we have Skeleton, which I used today, Zombie, which I used today, Boo, which I used today. I lied, I did not use Ominous. I just realized that. And then Haunted House. Look at these shimmers, but I did use both of these. So we have a matte light violet. I'm going to do a second layer since the shade is so light. Then we have a pink base with multicolored shimmers. This one doesn't pull very pink, I found, but it still is gorgeous. Then we have, oh my gosh, this is the pink base with multicolor shimmers. I am reading the wrong one. So this one, though, still doesn't pull very pink on my eyelid, you'll see. And then this one right here is Zombie, which is a light purple with multicolor shimmers. And then we have, of course, a rich matte blue. Look how vivid these are swatching. Okay, I haven't used this one yet, so I'm excited to see what this one looks like. We have Cobweb, Ghoulish, Creepy, and Haunted. This one is like a little bit more of an icy blue row here. So we have a metallic purple white. This is going to be great for highlight. Then we have a matte baby blue. Again, this one, just like the light purple up here, definitely needs a second layer for swatching purpose. A dark blue base with multicolor shimmers. That one is gorgeous on the eyelids. The shimmers are really good in this palette. And then we have a matte denim blue, which this one, not swatching as great, but I didn't have any issues with it in application today. Okay, last row. I haven't used any shades in this row since I went cool toned, but I do like that this is a warm and cool palette, so it does have a lot of variety, and you can do some cool contrasting kind of looks. So we have a pink multichrome, which you can't see, but now you can. It definitely has like a very slick feeling to it texture-wise. Then a matte orange base with gold and pink shimmers, and then a matte maroon. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Little Ghost palette. You have a lot of complementary colors here. You can get monochromatic looks with this. You can do purple and blue like I chose to do today, but you can also do some cool different looks as well. So this is the palette that I created for today's look. I'm about to shoot you over to that tutorial. However, I am not a genius when it comes to color and creating colorful looks, so I definitely am going to recommend that you check out Angelica's channel. She's done a ton of looks and she is great with color placement. So I think if you want more color inspiration, definitely check her channel out, but I'm gonna send you over to how I got this look with this palette. So I'm gonna start off with the shade Skeleton right here, which is a very light purple. So you can see we're doing a purple to blue shift today. I decided to go with this palette over the other one because they're both quite colorful, and I'm used to purple is like kind of my color. That is the one color that I do not mind wearing out. And then I thought we'd add that element of blue for something fun, but you can totally do a lot of different things even with just this one palette alone. I think somehow incorporating the yellow with the purple is always really cool because those are complementary colors. But with reviews, you know, I stick to looks that I'm comfortable with so that I can really test how the product works in a way that I would normally wear it. So now we're going in with Ghoulish. I'm telling you, these indie brands, it's crazy. The Halloween palettes that they're coming out with are so beyond gorgeous. So this one is really light, and at this point I was worried because I was like, oh, I'm doing a pastel look. I didn't mean for it to turn out this way. So we definitely have to go in and add some depth. So this is just going to be our background, but these shades would be very, very cool as eyelid colors as well. You do need to build them up like just a little bit, but it's not bad. And then I'm going into a Little Ghost right here with a Rephr 14 brush. And this is what we're going to use to bring the purple. I really like this purple shade because you can get a lighter purple, but if you build it up, you can get the depth that you see in pan, and it blends out quite easily. So I'm just going to blend that in the inner half of the crease. And then keeping it a little bit lower, I'm going to keep it a little deeper here. And then I'm going to go in with Haunted, which is this mid-tone kind of blue jean color. And I'm going to blend this, surprise, on the outer half of my crease. And then to bring that final level of depth, we're going into Haunted House, which is quite a vibrant navy, I guess is how I describe it. And I'm just going to blend that in the outer fourth of the eyelid, and then I'm going to blend that up a little bit higher into the crease. Now let's get into the eyelid. I'm going to go in with Boo, which is this pinky shade in pan, but it has those blue shifts, and the blue shifts are really brought out once on the eyelid. So I'm going to wet my brush like so. And This isn't going to turn out to be too much like a cut crease because you can see that this color just pulls a lot more blue. I thought it was going to be a little brighter, but I still think it's pretty. And I still think it pulls together the blue in the outer half. But I'm just going to line kind of an imaginary cut crease with this shade. Like so. I mean, there's so many looks I could do with this. I could do a whole video on the looks I could do with this. And then I'm going to start off with Zombie right here, the shade. So beautiful. That's just going right underneath that first color. Flipping my brush over, I'm going into Creepy. And this is going to bind together the purple and the blue. Isn't that so pretty? Now, I wanted a navy that was different than the one that I used on my eyelid because I wanted it to stand out a little bit more. So I'm actually going to go into an old collab from Angelica. This is the Club Nebula that she did with Kaleidos. And I'm just going to use the shade Void as my eyeliner. Oh, geez. The tone of this is different than the navy we have in the outer corner of our eye. So it works great for eyeliner. I definitely knew I wanted a navy eyeliner with this look, so I went searching into my collection. Next, I'm going to take a makeup wipe, and if there's any fallout, which there's not too bad on this side, but if there is any fallout, especially shimmers from the eyelid, sometimes you can get some glimmer fallout from Odens eye. Just gonna clean that off, and I'm gonna put on some concealer and powder real quick. Now for the lower lash line, I mean, it's gonna be pretty predictable. We're not going into any new shades. I'm just gonna mix a little bit of Skeleton, the lighter purple, and Little Ghost. And I'm just going to line the inner part of my lower lash line right here. And then I'm going to mix Haunted and Haunted House with a different brush. And that's going on the lower lash line on the outer half. And then using a small brush, I'm going to take some of Zombie and kind of use that as the bridge between the purple and the blue. Flipping my brush, going into a little bit of Boo, which is a little bit more of a flaky shade. So definitely wet your brush or tap off the excess because it has more like sprawled out glitters, which is going to look more textured on the eyelid, but you do have to be careful not to make a mess with it. And then we're going to finish off with Creepy, which is the blue shimmer out here, though I do want to leave a little bit of the navy kind of out here. And then I did overblend just a little bit. It happens. I'm just going to take my concealer brush and literally just cover that up. And then that's it for the eyeshadow look. Okay, so this one I have not dipped my fingers into yet, so I'm excited. This is the Trick or Treat palette, and here's what the colors look like. Now this one does lean more warm. It's going to be better probably for neutral lovers. I think you can make it work, but of course, it also is quite colorful as well. Let's go ahead and swatch this and see what I think. I'm going to start off by swatching this top row here. So we have Mommy's Cur, Howl, Full Moon. These are such good Halloween-y names. And Goblin. So that's what these look like. See, gold and brown. You can totally get a neutral look, at least with this top row. So we have a pale yellow base with multi-chrome shimmers. Then we have a matte ginger. I like that they use the word ginger to describe this. We have a bright gold base with green shimmers. And then we have a dark matte brown, which is going to come in handy if you are not adventurous like me. But this right here can give you a good neutral look. Then we have Wicked, Jack-o'-lantern, Deadly, and Candy Apple. This is how they're looking on my fingers. Really fun fall colors. This one is definitely the better fall palette, I would say, to get those warm fall makeup looks. So Wicked is a light matte pink. I'm not seeing too much pink, but whatever. We have a matte pumpkin orange, a light metallic copper base with multicolor shimmers, and then we have a matte brick red. And this is quite bright of a red, I would say. But those all look quite nice. Okay, now let's get into these crazy greens, which I definitely am gonna have to step out of my comfort zone and see what I can do with these. But you know what I really like about this palette? This quad right here. Oh, it looks so pretty. Okay, so we're gonna do Poison, Witch's Brew, Trick or Treat. Ooh, that one feels really soft. And then Vampire, what is that, Lounge? Vampire Fae. Where was I getting Lounge from? But these candy apple green colors. Never ever do I put greens like this on my eye, but I'm very tempted. So we have a matte emerald green, but I would describe this as almost neon. Not quite, but almost. Then we have a bright multi-chrome green. I'm not seeing like multi-chromes per se, but it's very dimensional. But it also might just be, oh, I see some green in there. Anyways, then we have a fuchsia base with multicolor shimmers. That one's swatched really soft and beautiful. And then we have a purple toned red brown, a great addition for those fall looks. Oh my gosh, are we already on the final four? That was fast. But we do have this. Oh my goodness. What is this called? Crypt Keeper, Cauldron, Cemetery, and then Magic Potion, which feels very creamy and wet. Ooh, okay. This shade I think is the prettiest in the palette. This is a green gold metallic with dark undertones. If you want a smoky eye that's greenish, put this all over the lid. It's going to be stunning. We have a matte brownish green, which didn't swatch as pigmented as I thought, but honestly, that's okay. Because these two together, and like I say all the time, just because something doesn't swatch like powerful on the like swatches, doesn't mean it's not going to apply well. I haven't applied it yet, so I can't speak on that, but yeah. Same deal with this matte mauvish purple. And then we have a baby blue base with multicolor shimmers, which has some, I feel like, green mintiness in there. So this one's going to be more reflective on the eye, so you're going to get more from it when it's on your three-dimensional eyeball. But here's this one. Honestly, this color story I'm vibing with swatched a little bit more than I thought, because I think it's going to be fantastic for fall looks, but I also think it's going to be really fun with those green pops as well in the red. Kind of Christmassy, right? Fall and winter palette, I feel like this is great. And then this one, of course, you have super cool tones, purples and blues. Both are beautiful. Odens Eye always swatches incredible, so I'm excited I got to do a swatch and sip for this. My arms are getting tired though. And as always, Angelica has done a fantabulous job putting these colors together, because one thing I can say about her palettes is you can always do, I'm resting my arms, a lot of looks with her palettes, because she adds just a lot of different tones, which really increases the versatility of her palettes, which increases the value in my opinion. Oh, jeez. Anyways, these indie brands are doing such an amazing job with their Halloween launches. I feel like the color stories that these brands are coming up are like the most fun. I've gotten a couple in the mail recently from other indie brands. I should do another swatch and ship for those, because they are also amazing for Halloween. But definitely love the way that these all swatched. I'll keep you updated as I apply them to the eyes, but with today's look, I didn't have any issues whatsoever. These are, these are outside of my comfort zone. As somebody who, as you know, I prefer neutral looks, and not only that, I'm just not wearing as much eyeshadow these days, so I don't know how often I'm going to reach for these, but I'm definitely going to make an effort to wear some colorful eyeshadow this month so I can put these in my monthly rankings. But Odens Eye always ranks extremely high in my rankings, so expect these to be in that top over there, because the quality is just so amazing for the price point. And the last part of the collection, Odens Eye also launched a lip collection, and there's 3 different formulas. There's 2 matte formulas, which are kind of like a clayish matte lip, and then there's 2 shine formulas, which is just a classic gloss. But this one is very interesting. The name of this is Radioactive, and it's called Glow, but it's extremely hydrating. So I just have a lip liner on and then this Radioactive shade on the lips. so gorgeous, and look how hydrated my lips look. I am loving this one. This one I think is my favorite in the whole lip collection. Just to give you a little tour. So the lighter of the matte shades is going to be Swamp Fog, which you saw I swatched on my lips. And the other matte that we have is Shadow Creature, which is a deeper, almost kind of reddish shade. Very good for the holidays. And these don't feel too dry in the matte formulas. They feel pretty good. And then the two shine formulas, the first shade is Quicksand, which is quite a unique color. It's like, it looks like a leaf. A fall leaf is what I think of. And then we also have Spectral, which is a little bit more of like a taupey brown. These are great, unique gloss colors. Like, I don't have a lot of gloss colors, these shades, and I feel like with the right lip liner, they're going to be fantastic fall lips. I mean, this is such a phenomenal fall lip color collection, and it's very rare that lip colors are unique nowadays, and I feel like Angelica did a great job of creating unique colors but still relatively wearable. So excited about that. But this glow shade, just lip liner and this, and I just love how plump my lips look and how and how hydrating it is. But anyways, that was my swatch and sip for the new Helaween collection with Angelica and Odens. Let's all take a sip for our hard work. I've been so into pumpkin this year. It's stronger than it's ever been before. I've been going ham with everything pumpkin at Trader Joe's. Current obsession at Trader Joe's pumpkin-wise is the pumpkin butter. Mix that in with a little bit of cottage cheese. Well, a lot of cottage cheese and then a little bit of pumpkin butter. So fantastic. Okay, anyways, enough of my pumpkin pedestal. I will see you all later. Make sure you guys congratulate Angie and use her code, actually. Don't even use mine. I don't know what it is at the top of my head, but I'll write it in the description box. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.